how to overcome visibility blocks. Welcome to the Accelerate Ascension Summit, where we elevate awareness, magnify your message, and monetize your mission. I'm Dr. Katja Rusanen, your host, committed to helping spiritual teachers, coaches, and healers succeed on purpose. And joining us today are Antonia Van Becker and Greg, who are the founders of Self-Health Institute, dedicated to empowering clients through their signature CoreTalk Holistic Healing modality. Since 1995, they've helped healers, coaches, and creators overcome obstacles and achieve success. Their online courses and professional certification program offer the healing tools they need so they can heal and transform their life and business. So welcome, Antonia and Greg. I'm super excited to have you join us today.
Yay, thanks so much for having us, Katja. We love being with you.
Such a pleasure.
And before we dive into your presentation, I just want to ask about how did you overcome visibility blocks and how did that change the way you approach your work and connect with others?
Yeah. Well, I think that it has been one of the most important core issues that we have dealt with. Speaking for myself, you know, we as humans are complicated. There's so many different layers of emotions and feelings and beliefs and experiences that have happened to us on our soul's journey. And so visibility blocks, especially if we're keenly aware of them and notice ourselves experiencing them, can take a little bit of digging to figure out where they came from. And we're going to talk a little bit about some of that past life stuff, about past trauma, about experiences, and really being able to work with the body to be able to clear those out. And it made all the difference in the world, being able to show up, being able to be confident and calm and move forward. If I hadn't cleared those visibility blocks, we wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah. And the piece about it is when you start to really uncover and bring into the world your unique genius, you're doing things that you've never done before.
Right.
And when you do that, it presents challenges and situations that you may have never thought you'd be in. And being able to address those in a way where you can become present and heal whatever comes up is so important.
It is. And that's why I'm super excited for this presentation where people can learn how to unleash your inner light. And during this presentation, you will learn also how to heal those visibility blocks, and we'll explore the roots of your fears and provide practical strategies to overcome them. And you learn finally how to heal those visibility blocks and step confidently into your light. And I'm sure our audience is eager to learn from your wisdom. So the stage is yours, Antonia and Greg.
Thank you so much, Katja.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So, guys, welcome. We're so happy to be here. I'm Antonia Van Becker.
And as Katja said,
Exactly.
Antonia and Greg, I'm Greg Lee, and we're the founders of Self-Health Institute. And we created this CoreTalk Holistic Healing, and this was over many years and working with mentors. And it's a deeply transformative somatic energetic healing modality. Our clients love CoreTalk because they're able to heal their body, mind, and spirit so that they can serve more people, they can earn more money,
Yes,
and they can grow their business in a way that really feels genuine and authentic.
so important. And we're so excited, and we want to thank Katja again for inviting us to be part of the Accelerate Your Ascension Summit, because we love to work with you, healers and light workers, spiritual seekers, coaches, and speakers, to really be able to speed up your success. That's our mission here. because we want you to be able to bring your beautiful gifts to the world. And being visible in this sometimes crowded field is so essential so that you can attract your ideal clients and they can see your unique genius and skills and hire you because they know you can help them. So, and even though we've had years of experience and expertise working with healers and spiritual seekers, entrepreneurs, business owners to transform their challenges into golden opportunities and get past all those obstacles of self-doubt and procrastination, visibility, and limiting beliefs, we're not going to take the time to share our story right at this moment. We have some good stories as we're going to move forward here. But if you're interested in who we are and how we got here and why you might be listening to us, just ask, shoot us an email. But right now, we're going to dive right into the practical and actionable stuff.
So today we're going to talk about visibility blocks. And so many people have a deep-seated fear of being seen, right?
Yeah.
And that fear can come from many different sources. And it's not always easy to see it at first or even understand why it's there. So this fear of visibility can come from traumatic experiences, things that have happened in the past, including past life trauma.
Mm-hmm.
And then they also surface and look like limiting beliefs. And then there's also sticky energy. And the fear that starts to hold us back, it really holds us hostage from being what we want to be in the world and having the life that we envision for ourselves and being able to feel comfortable and confident about being visible.
Yes.
So one of the most common reasons for fear of visibility comes from past experiences of trauma or adversity. So there's a whole field of study about adverse childhood experiences. So when we talk about trauma and adversity, one of the areas is from those adverse childhood experiences. So in our youth, if we were ridiculed or if we were embarrassed or criticized or punished for speaking up, really, stating our opinion or just saying what we wanted, just being ourselves, often our reaction is to hide, to lay low, to stay silent in order to stay safe. And this reaction can become a really habitual way of life where we hold back. We don't really say how we feel. And in extreme cases, don't even know how we feel,
Right?
Because we're never allowed to express or even feel how we were feeling. So I'm going to tell a little bit of a story in a moment, because this is really personal for me. And I knew that one of the ways that we had to build our business was to connect with people who were already successful and who had people in their communities who would be good prospects for us in our healing work. And it was really that situation that I knew I had to conquer, but I didn't even know it was a problem until we started to go to events where there would be people who were successful. And I would think, I really want to be part of what's happening with this business that they're doing because they might be able to help us. And in doing so, I would go up to people. This is when we had live events, right? Where we would all show up. And I would stand next to maybe 2 or 3 of these very powerful people. And I would stand there thinking, I'm going to introduce myself. I'm going to tell them about my business. And I would go up to them and I'd just stand there. And I wouldn't say anything. And I'd stand there for a while and they'd kind of maybe notice me a little bit and wondering what I was doing or who I was. And then eventually I'd just walk away. So after going to a number of events where I would do this over and over again and think, why am I not speaking up? Why am I not doing what I want to do?
Isn't that interesting?
And it just kept going. So I thought, we have to heal this. And actually, Antonia
It's a problem.
well, maybe we should look at this from a healing aspect. And in talking with my body and using our CoreTalk modality, it took me back to a younger age, a time when I was 3 years old. And we had kind of a small family reunion at our house. And I had my great uncles, and I was one of the only kids at this family reunion because it was all these older great uncles who just looked like giants.
They were all
to me.
6 feet tall plus. Didn't help.
During the day, one of my great uncles, who was a plumber, came up and he said, "Greg, did you put something in the toilet? It's clogged." And I stood like completely frozen, like stone. And he didn't say anything, kind of laughed a little bit. Later on, he took the toilet off and took it outside, and it was on the lawn. And I'm standing there, and my uncles are standing there, and they're drinking beer and they're laughing. And my great uncle, the plumber, pulls a carrot out of the toilet. And he says, "Greggy, did you put this carrot in the toilet?" And again, I'm completely speechless, like stone, standing there. And all of my great uncles laugh. Well, I'd thought of this event many times, but I never thought that it was a point.
It's like, oh, it's no big deal.
No big deal. So that's the way we think of the adverse experiences that we had as children. When we're adults, we think, that wasn't such a big deal. But this one really shut me down. And as we healed that feeling of deep remorse and guilt and all of the things that came up around that event, it actually made it so that the next time we went to event, I walked up to very powerful people and I started to introduce myself and talk. And it made it so much easier because I was in the flow and I wasn't reflecting back to how I was stuck with these great uncles and feeling humiliated.
Isn't that crazy? So I just wanted to show you guys, because we're going to go through a little bit of a progression as we work. And we keep talking about CoreTalk and how we talk to our bodies. And that's exactly what we do. If you guys have a pendulum or do muscle testing, we talk to our bodies using that innate healing system. And I say, pendulum, you're reflecting what my body's energy. So show me a yes. And it says, oh, there you go. That's a round circle. Show me a yes. Body, show me a no. And I've been doing this for years. So this is what happens. It's going back and forth. It may take you a little longer to get it, but this is the essence of being able to talk to your body. That's how we said with that story, Greg's body, did you want to go back to was it age 3 that was important? See, and that's how, was it before 5? Was it before, was before 10, like that? And that's how we get to where the core issue started. So just wanted to throw a little bit of technique in there. I bet a bunch of you already muscle test, and you can do it whatever way you do it. But it's important to be able to get back to the age where those core issues or that past trauma happened.
Because our body really knows exactly what the trauma is, and it really will guide us to be able to tap into the wisdom of our body.
Yeah. And so another part of past trauma, and this is part of our VIP gift that we have for Katja, but there's past life visibility issues, because we can get a huge fear of visibility from adverse experiences that happened in a past life too. So when we were growing our business from one-on-one healing, and Greg was doing Lomi massage, and we started using our CoreTalk to support groups of healers and speakers and coaches, spiritual seekers online and worldwide, we had to really level up in a lot of ways. We built courses and lead magnets and funnels, all that stuff. And for our first big speaking gig, we wanted to have a large stand-up banner to decorate the stage, and you see it there. And when we unfurled that for the first time in the kitchen, I was shocked at the sinking feeling I got in my stomach when I saw my face in large proportion on that banner. And it really sent me into kind of a tailspin that felt like anxiety and outright fear and dread. And I realized that it wasn't just for the speaking engagement. You know, I'd been on stages and stuff before, but it was really about having my face on that banner, the visibility of it. And I actually realized that I felt like I wanted to die, or that I would die if I had to speak. And so that got me so curious about what could make me feel this strongly. You know, talking about earlier about how there's layers and layers of these visibility issues that can come up. And this was one of them, right? Because I'd been on stage singing and dancing my whole life, right? But I had never been on stage as a healer. And that turned out to be the crux of the issue. So what we did is, and we used the same technique, and we said, body, is there something about a past life that is impacting how I can be visible in the world? And it says yes. And then we would go through a process, and that's what we were like, oh my gosh, we have to look at what's going on with these past lives. And in our CoreTalk session, we came up with not just one, but 5 past lives where I was killed as a healer helping other people. So there was no way I was going to call myself a healer in this lifetime. Well, that was way too dangerous. So we had to heal that trauma from the deaths in all those past lives. And after that, I was really able to claim being a healer, calling myself a healer, putting it on a business card, and speaking to people about healing without having that anxiousness, without having that dread come up every single time. So it made a huge difference for me about how I was able to show up as myself with ease and grace. So I'm asking all of you out there, what trauma have you had in this life or in a past life that might lead to fear of visibility? And if you write those down and start talking to your body like we do with CoreTalk, you can find out and start clearing that fear out of your body.
So now we're going to look at visibility blocks that can also be caused by limiting beliefs. So beliefs that limit us, or they hold us back from growing and changing and becoming successful. So limiting beliefs sound a lot like I'm not good enough, or I don't know enough, I'll never be successful, or maybe I could never do that.
Right.
So when we look out at what other people are doing, or maybe what we think and know that we have to do, or what we want to do, and we say,
like,
I just can't even imagine myself doing that, that's a limiting belief.
Yeah.
So in other words, limiting beliefs are at the root of what keeps us from realizing our bigger vision. They keep us from taking action that would create a successful outcome. So we all know we have all kinds of beliefs, but if they're limiting in nature, we need to decode the energy of those beliefs that has been created over time,
Right.
and encode a new positive belief that supports what we want.
Right.
And that's what we do with CoreTalk. That's what we do when somebody is trying to move through into a new area that they're developing and they just can't see themselves there.
Yeah.
So here's AJ Marishta, and he's the founder of Movement Makers. And he has a very successful 7-figure business supporting coaches and leaders to create their own movement. And he said, visibility has long been a standing issue for me. Like, I have challenges writing an email or posting on social media. It's like, why is that? So here's this really successful guy who didn't want to put himself out there because his belief was, I'm too much, I'm too big.
Yeah, and that's the story that he heard from when he was little, that he was too loud, too rambunctious, too opinionated, right? So all that input, that when he was free and dancing and doing his thing, that people were shushing him down to make him be quiet, make him, you're doing too much, you have too big energy, quiet down, quiet down. And this is how these beliefs are formed, right? And this is then the impact that they can have as we're moving forward as grownups into life. We're still carrying some of that stuff. So when we were talking to him, we were like, God, we should do a CoreTalk session with you. And we did a really short, sweet session. And he said in a Facebook post after that session, I'm really excited for what's about to happen because of creating a new belief system. And you guys will love this. Maybe this one will work for you guys, that I am visible to serve. And when I saw his post and congratulated him on his new belief and his new feeling, he said the CoreTalk session with you and Greg set off a series of events in my transformation. And so that was just so cool that he was able to transform and come out. So now, you guys, I know that you are aware of limiting or all kinds of beliefs that we have. We all have. We have beautiful beliefs about the ability to serve, and that we want to help people, and that we say we have, a belief about a strong family, or serving other people, or, that there is love. Love is the basis of all energy, all sorts of beautiful beliefs. And that's one kind of belief. But the other kind of belief is those negative beliefs about ourselves. And you guys, I'm sure, are very connected with that. And it's really important for you to be aware of what those beliefs, because again, they can really be underneath driving the train without you even knowing that that old belief system is what is impacting your decision making. And in terms of visibility, it could be the decision making about, oh, I'm going to post this. Oh, it's not quite good enough. And so you don't end up doing it because you want to make it better, but then you never do it, right? And so one of our things, because Greg's a little bit of a procrastinator perfectionist here.
They go together, right?
They go together, right? Is saying done is better than perfect. And that's a really important thing. And one of the things that we do in CoreTalk also is when we find ourselves procrastinating or being perfectionist and not getting the stuff done, body, is there a limiting belief under this procrastination that I need to decode? Yes. Body, do you know what that belief is? Yes. And that's when you think, okay, what is that belief? And let your intuition tell you. And then is that the limiting belief, right? Because you have to know what those issues are. You have to feel it and be aware of it in order to heal it. And we're going to talk more about that in a minute.
Yeah.
But that's how those limiting beliefs can really affect your visibility. So write those down, what you think are your limiting beliefs that are affecting your visibility.
And what you can do to create even more of that awareness is kind of look through your day, or even as you're doing things. And when you see yourself hesitating on something that you know is going to help, like if you're not hitting record, you're not hitting the live button on the Facebook Live, or when you hesitate hitting the send on the email that you know is important to take the next step.
Or contacting a client, even reaching out to a friend or a mentor for support. If you're holding back, look at why. Look at what is driving that decision or non-decision, right? Because that's really important in breaking through these visibility issues.
So now let's look at the next part.
Ooh, and this is so interesting, all about sticky energy and how this kind of energy can really cause or reinforce, mostly it's reinforce these visibility blocks that you might already have. So we're talking about other people's sticky energy. And we define this sticky energy as an energy that other people put out, and usually towards a person, in order to try and control or manipulate or use us in ways that are not in our best interests. Because, guys, really being visible in most cases is what is in our best interest for our life and our business. You know, think about it. If you're not visible, it's hard to find a partner for a loving relationship. If you're not visible, it's hard to find clients. It's hard to do the work that, you know, we want to do, that you want to put out in the world, if you're not visible to get those clients and to attract everyone. So in our CoreTalk work, sticky energy can look like energetic cords or shrouds. And in our behavior, I'll talk about what that looks like for us, but in our behaviors or other people's behaviors, it can look like gaslighting or guilt tripping or fishing or catfishing, all of these behaviors that are meant to make us doubt ourselves and make us doubt our reality, doubt what's right for us, and doubt our own judgment, our own voice. And the direct result of somebody's sticky energy sticking, right, is that we make ourselves smaller, we silence ourselves, we make our voices less, right? We can become small and invisible, and then it's easier to fall prey to someone else's interests, like we said before, which is usually counter to our own interests. So that sticky energy has got to be removed so that we're able to claim our own voice and our vision in the world, so that we can become more visible to do what we're here to do. And because of the limiting nature of other people's manipulative energy, it's important to ask yourself to think about this. And this is what we do in all of our events and our courses. There's kind of two parts to it. So one part of it is all, and this is really important, guys, and people forget about it. I have to practice this all the time. So please write this down. There's a very important question that you need to ask yourself. At least for me, I had to ask myself 20 times a day still, what do I want? What do I want right now? What is the thing to do right in this moment that is right for me? And this goes all from little decisions like what to have for lunch or dinner, where to go out, when to exercise or walk, all of these things. It's so important to check in with yourself and do what is right for you, because there's so many times that our partners, or when we're little, our families, our parents influence us to do what is right for them in the moment, what's convenient, what works within the family. But when we're all grown up and everything, we need to be doing what is right for us on a moment-to-moment basis. And when you start asking yourself that question and give yourself some time to answer it and really see, is this because of what someone else is saying, or is this what is really true for me, what I really want to do? Then that's when you know that you are acting and walking your soul's journey and that you'll really be able to begin to do exactly what is right for you and not what other people are maybe pushing you to do.
Yeah, so much of what we work with at the beginning of any healing session with people is, who's influencing your decision making, and why is that something that's controlling your life? Is that controlling your life? And that energy from other people can be so manipulative and make you feel obligated to do things a certain way. If you're doing things for yourself that are based on what other people think you should do, that's a very difficult area and something that needs to be healed.
Yeah. And so it's really important. The other question that's really important to ask yourself is, are you in any relationships that feel like there's sticky energy involved? Are you in a relationship where someone is kind of domineering the situation, right? Making all the decisions, just moving ahead, not necessarily asking your opinion, or if they do, but they just keep pushing forward anyway. So it's important, and this is something we do with CoreTalk too. Oh, is there cords from this person in my life? Oh, there is cords. Are there shrouds? Which is kind of a bigger manipulative energy. So, but it's really important to recognize how your relationships are functioning. And this is not something that is necessarily an evil thing, like this dude on the slide, someone who's doing it intentionally. It's not always that way. We can do it too, right? We want what we want sometimes. And so we might be pushing for a certain decision or a certain behavior or a certain thing to do.
Right.
So it's not that it's evil, but people can push that manipulation too far.
And sometimes it sounds as benign as, do you really think that's the best thing to do right now?
Right. Yeah. So past trauma, limiting beliefs, and sticky energy are all factors that can have a huge impact on our visibility in our personal and our professional lives and in the world. And these factors can really stop us from making connections, lasting relationships, from making abundant amounts of money, and being happy with who we are and what we're doing and where we are in the moment. They can really stop us from feeling like we belong in the world. And that's why it's so important to keep doing this energetic work with yourself, to keep, looking at what is this and what's going on.
Yep. So how the heck do we heal these visibility issues? So for us and our entire Self-Health Institute community, we use our energetic healing modality, CoreTalk Holistic Healing, to talk to the body and clear all the unhealthy congestion and issues that have resulted from adverse life experiences and trauma. It's just so important. So we clear them out of the tissues because that's where they get. And we're using the very traditional meridian system and the chakras so that you can regain flow and have that abundance in your life and be able to create health and have your business flow and get you the results that you've always wanted.
Yeah.
CoreTalk has a really simple overall process that you can do anytime and anywhere very quickly and easily.
Yeah. And it actually it's so interesting. We love to, create in ourselves this curiosity and beautiful interest. And oh my gosh, that's such an interesting answer I just got. What is that I could really move through, that could change things big time?
So here's how you can begin to start using what we do in CoreTalk to be able to heal some of these visibility blocks. You definitely want to write some of these down. So the first step to healing, because it's really all about healing to create that flow, the first step is awareness. Because if you can't feel it, you really can't heal it. So the second step is to use that awareness to notice when you get triggered.
Right? That's what we were talking about, like when that procrastination or the perfectionism hits and you realize, oh my gosh, I'm procrastinating. I'm not getting anything done.
Yeah.
And that's getting triggered, right?
Yeah, it's just so important to start to see what is it that I'm doing that's keeping me from being able to move forward? What are the feelings that come up? What are the behaviors that I'm displaying?
Mm-hmm.
So then the third step is to be able to use your body's innate healing system to heal the old wounds, and really to be able to look at how those past adverse experiences are showing up so that you can get the issues out of your tissues. And
Right.
here's a pro tip.
Yeah.
So know that whenever you're moving out of your comfort zone.
So, and this is, it's like, plan this into your projects.
So this is a piece when we're planning, when we say, here's our goals and here's the actions that we're going to take, and we write out all those things, we're actually in a part of our CoreTalk work when we're doing this, because we're using our muscle testing to decide, are these the right goals that we want to take? And we're writing down all the actions. And then at that point, we want to ask ourselves a very important question. And that question is there something that would keep me from being able to take action to complete these goals?
And he's got his pendulum out there.
I'm asking, you can see here a little bit more. So our body doesn't lie, and our body knows us implicitly, everything about us. So as we start to envision what we want, when we start to create the goals, when we start to have this thing be forming into a real process, we want to be able to use that process to be able to heal. So it's when we start to take action that all the gremlins come out, the limiting beliefs, the negative behaviors, and it's when we get triggered. And if we don't heal what's being triggered, that will drastically affect our productivity and our ability to feel like we're in the flow and be happy. And it will definitely keep us from wanting to be visible, because we're going to be thinking, what the heck is wrong with me? Instead of, this is coming up for me, not to me.
Right.
And I'm going to be able to take this information and move forward.
Yeah. So one of the things that we love to do, and we'll show you a quick, one of the biggest clearings that we do on a regular basis. When we, you can see by the slide here, you're at the edge of your comfort zone, you're about to break out, or you've been working on your tech or sending out a new email or a new course or something like that. And it's like, oh my gosh, I realize I've been procrastinating, putting it out or working on it for the last 3 days or the last month, right?
Or years.
Or a year, you haven't gotten that thing that you really want to do, right? So that's when we have this conversation, body, and we have, there's 4 questions you always start with, but body, is there something in the way that's making me procrastinate about this? Yes. And this is something that you guys can do for yourself. And the first thing that we teach almost, is this really scary for me? Yes. Is that stuck in my body? Yes. Oh my gosh, is it in the bladder meridian? Yes. The bladder meridian is where that big fear, terror is being held in your body. And so then we would ask about, well, are there cords there? And we won't get in so much about clearing cords. That's part of that sticky energy, right? But you clear all of that from your body. And then we say, okay, can we clear that fear out of the body? Let's clear the bladder meridian. We love to breathe, and we clear the bladder. And it goes all the way down to the toes.
Do it too.
And then comes back up. And we encourage everyone to breathe and release all of that congestion, that energy contains and has stuck in your body. And when you use these techniques, and there's all different meridians that convey all different kinds of emotions, then you're able to lift that congestion, to lift those blocks and move forward on a daily basis. And that's what we really love to do, and what the basis of all our CoreTalk work is, transforming these core issues or problems into golden opportunities. So when we talk about transforming these problems into golden opportunities, we're really talking about transforming trauma and these adverse experiences into an outcome that gives us a feeling that we've triumphed, that we've got this, right? I can do this. I know I can do it. So when we do this healing, the healing of the trauma becomes that experience of growth instead of this contraction that that unhealed trauma can cause. So some of the practical steps that we take to create this transformation, when we've been talking about this, we've showed you, is accessing the body's awareness of the trauma, going back to the age, being able to communicate with the body using these yes and no questions, muscle testing, which is what CoreTalk's all about, and then actually asking your body questions out loud. And this is part of CoreTalk is all about, how do you ask questions to get the answer that your body, that important answer that your body has. And one of the things is you have to talk out loud to have that somatic experience and to get the specific direction about what steps to take that are specific to your needs. That's really important. And then when we follow the body's healing instructions, which tells us what our body wants to do and where it wants to go, where it wants to have the healing, then we're able to do that beautiful healing from the inside out. And that's what converts the problem into that golden opportunity to heal, to move forward, and to feel like we're moving in a positive direction, no matter what it looks like on the outside. And that's what we're all about here. This is our mission in life, is to help thousands of people heal and move forward, move through their challenges into doing exactly what they are here to do on earth.
Because when we talk about, many times we hear people say, yeah, I feel like I'm blocked. There's some blocks that are holding me back. Well, we've seen that in so many people, and your body knows exactly what that block is, exactly what's stopping you from being able to flow. And we want to really be able to help you identify it, hear what your body is talking about, and then be able to heal that so that you can move forward.
Plus, we want to show you about what free gift, if some of this resonates with you, if you would like to learn more and, be in contact with us, then we have a beautiful free healing tool to get you started building this relationship with your body, so you can start creating the visibility by turning those traumas into triumphs. And it's called 3 Powerful Ways to Tap into Your Body's Wisdom. And you get it free as part of Katja's beautiful Accelerate Ascension Summit. So we're thrilled. It goes through some of the really important ways to be connected with your body, to talk with your body, and to really start that conversation that will deepen your awareness of what is kind of driving the bus behind your decision making. Are you seeing that, as Greg loves his car analogies, are you seeing that red light on the dashboard, on your own personal dashboard, that's telling you, oh goodness, this is not good. I'm starting to feel sick. Or for me, I often have this thing as, I hit my head. I hit my head again. Oh my gosh, I must be really tired. I need to give myself some space. This awareness of your body, of your triggers, of how you're feeling, of whether you are being managed by someone else or whether you are doing what you really want to do. Remember that? What do I want? Right? All of these things come to us. And this is part of what we talk about in this free gift about how to tap into that inner wisdom so that you really are hearing. And I know many of you, we're preaching to the choir here. I'm sure many of you are very intuitive. You're very empathetic to other people, and you know how those feelings are. But sometimes we have these blind spots about, oh, I just did what they wanted, and that wasn't what I wanted, and I didn't speak up. I didn't put myself out there when I could have. And this is so important to have that awareness. Right, Katja? You're so good at doing that. You've overcome so many visibility blocks and all different things in your lifetime too.
I have. And I think that's part of the journey of many of our listeners as well. Because, yeah, we go through stuff. And it is, how can we turn this events for soul's learning and growth and keep going? And I really, truly want to say thank you for your beautiful, beautiful presentation. I think this is really a key for so many, because I know that there are many listening and who have that calling in their heart. They have something so valuable to share, but then they get stuck with the visibility. They are not taking those steps forward and sharing their message. So I am so grateful for your beautiful presentation today, because that is the key here. Let's just clear those blocks so that we can be the messengers of light and accelerate the ascension, because these messages need to go out, right?
Yes, they really need right here, right now. Boy, do we need more messengers of light, more healers.
Yeah. And now, as we start wrapping up here, I want to ask, is there a final message that you would like to share about magnifying your message and your mission with the audience?
Yeah. As we look at what we've done, and then as we've kind of looked in our community and then outside of our community at people who are successful at being able to do that, it's never just by yourself. It's always with the support of others, because it's other people whose expertise is looking at what you're doing and being able to give you feedback, being able to help you heal, being able to see the blind spots that you can't see yourself. It's essential to be able to take people into your journey and have that healing and the awareness of what might be keeping me back, because it's that thing that will keep you from being able to ascend and have the visibility and be in the light. And once you're in the flow and allowing your helpers to be in front of you and with you, then you're walking in the supported light instead of trying to find the light and you're in the shadow.
Gosh, that's so important. We're kind of lucky because we've been together for now our 40th wedding anniversary and everything. Just boy, do we see each other's blind spots. So it's really an important thing to have your community, to have your support system, your mentors, the people that are able to be with you on your beautiful journey and really say, honey, I think you need to clear some of that frustration. or whatever. I think, wow, we're kind of procrastinating, and you can see other people can help you see those things that we don't see for ourselves, and be able to just have that beautiful, linkage and feeling and empathy for one another in your tribe, in a community, because humans are pack animals and we need to have our pack. So it's just, we love to have our pack, and sometimes it takes work to continue to create the pack as we move through life, as we move through our beautiful journeys, and we grow and change and, up level and become more enlightened. Our pack changes. Everything always changes. So that's it, is gather your tribe, get your
Yes.
pack together.
Yeah, I love that message resonates so deeply, because I always say, together we shine brighter. And I am so grateful that you are here shining your light with us today. So thank you, Antonia and Greg, for your time and the valuable insights you've shared with us today. And thank you for joining us in this Accelerate Ascension Summit session. It's time to shine, share, and succeed. And if you enjoyed the session, please give it thumbs up. And I'm sending you lots of light and love. Bye for now.
Bye.